Made smoother than your smoothest criminal. Shamo, about that money, what we get into. Shamo, about that money, get residuals. Shamo.
You know what it is, and you know what it sounds like. Week 2, NFL, against the spread. Popovich, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. Last week, we went 11-5, picking all of the games. On the locks, not from Yonkers, the locks that get us the winner chicken dinners. We went 5-0. We hit all 5 locks. Congratulations to everybody that got some money with us. Let's get right into it. We're not going to waste no time. I know I'm Johnny lately, but I told y'all when it comes to betting, because that's my money, son, I don't rush just to put up the bets, to be the first person. I try to wait till the last minute to make sure that, I'm decisive and I did my homework, because before you bet, you should always do your homework, because that's your money, son. Let's get right to it. First game. Atlanta at home versus Green Bay. Atlanta is -1.5. At first it was Green Bay -1.5. Jordan Love, he looked pretty good last week. We had Green Bay. Second road game on the road going against a better opponent. Last week Green Bay played Chicago Bears, the Bears. And we had Green Bay. They came through for us. This week, two starting out the season, 2 games on the road. I like Atlanta. I think Atlanta will be able to run the ball. Still not really sold on the quarterback of Atlanta, but hopefully they keep it simple. They run the ball. I think it'll be a defensive game. I think it'll be something like Atlanta 20, Green Bay 17. Next game, Buffalo Bills. Can you pay the Bills, or you going to look ill like the Bills? Last week they looked like ill. Had the New York Football Jets have a walk-off in spectacular fashion on 9/11 when Aaron Rodgers got hurt. This week they're going against the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders getting 8. A lot of people was looking at Jimmy Pornstar G, and it's like, they beat Denver last week. They on the road. They flying across town. I don't put too much credence into that as far as the West Coast teams coming to play the East Coast teams, etc. 8 points is a lot, but I think Buffalo, this is a get-right spot. I think this is a comeback down to earth for Josh McDaniels. Obviously he played in the NFC East for a long time when he was with Belichick and those boys, but I like Buffalo. I like Buffalo to cover the 8. Next game, Lamar Jackson on the road getting 3 at Cincinnati Bengals. Who they say they're going to beat them Bengals? Last week they looked real horrible against Cleveland. We had Cleveland last week, Cleveland rocks. And Joe Burrow, not much preseason, calf injury, etc. Looked at like, throw up in your mouth. Looked at L. Trashington, sprinkled some dirt on him. Lamar Jackson and those boys, Odell Beckham, they didn't look spectacular either. If you ask me, they looked at, obviously they won the game against a bum-ass Houston 25-9, but they still didn't come out and really show a good showing. To me, it was the first game. With that being said, I like Cincinnati to get right at home. I like Cincinnati -3 over Baltimore, division rival. They don't want to start the season 0-2 in that division. Next game, Seahawks, touchdown Seahawks on the road against the Detroit Lions. Halle Berry. And last week, they looked damn fucking good. I had Kansas City, and they proved me wrong. Thursday night football, Detroit came out, and they put spanking to that ass on ring night. Your ring bling bling, my shit bling blow. Detroit at home, giving 4.5. Seahawks look really, really, really bad against LA Rams, rejuvenated. Aaron Donald and them boys. Matt Stafford was looking pretty damn decent. This week here, I think Metcalf, I think Lockett, I think Geno Smith, they wrote me off, but I ain't right back. I think they get right this week. I don't think they win the game. I like Detroit money line, but I like Seahawks with the 4.5. I think the Seahawks, the last 2 times they played, these teams went bananas. I think it was Seahawks won 48-45, and then the last year before that, I think the Seahawks beat them 51-26. Seahawks could win outright, but I like Seahawks with the 4.5. Next game, Colts at Houston. You know what I mean? Shout outs to everybody in Houston. You know what I mean? Colts starting a rookie quarterback. Houston starting a rookie quarterback. Houston played Baltimore last week. Colts played Jacksonville. Colts look pretty damn decent. I ain't gonna lie. They had a chance. They had a chance to maybe get a late touchdown. Richardson is definitely going to be one of those type of, transformer Autobots, you know what I mean, all over the place. Great arm, athletic, niggas a truck, you know what I mean? This week, I don't know, though. I think Jonathan Taylor's still not back. He won out. Do you ever think about when you out of here? And I don't think C.J. Strauss was as bad as it looked. He's getting some help back. They did lose a wide receiver, etc. But first it was Colts giving 1. Now it's Houston -1. The public money is still on the Colts. I like Houston. I like Houston at home. First road game for Richardson. Houston, back-to-back home games. That's a good way to start the season off. So you playing Baltimore. Now you playing the Colts. I think the Colts is a little step down. Some might believe they up there with Baltimore, but I don't. You got to prove it to me. I like Houston -1. Next game, Kansas City at Jacksonville. They bumped them out of the playoffs. Was it last year or was it the year before last? I know they bumped them out. Like I said, they lost on opening night. Travis Kelce didn't play. The other, Jones didn't play. Both of them should be back. The dude from the Giants, I can't think of his name, dropped a couple of balls. You know what I mean? Like you on the practice field running 2 a day so you don't drop the ball when it's through your way. So you don't give a fuck, but I like right. Then you trying to troll the Giants because they got slacked 40-0. Whoo, a stinky New York. Damn it, man. But in this one here, you give me 10 days. You played Thursday night, opening night. You missed the first Sunday. You get a time to recalibrate, to rethink things. Andy Reid, obviously, this is the season with no Eric Bieniemy. I like Kansas City. I like Kansas City. Jacksonville is at home. They are ascending. You know what I mean? Trevor Lawrence, the golden boy with your hair flowing in the wind. I think they will be good. Doug Peterson, obviously, he's a Super Bowl champion coach, just not this week. I like Kansas City. Next game, the Bears, Justin Fields at Baker Mayfield. I woke up feeling dangerous. We had Tampa Bay last week as a lock. Cha-ching, because that's your money, son. And they came through for us. You know what I mean? Minnesota, Kirk Cousins, do you like that? And they looked at horrible. Chicago Bears, they looked at horrible against Green Bay. And Green Bay own you boys inside your house. This week, I think everybody comes back to the pack. So let me just say this real quick, too. And that division, I think everybody after this week will be 1-1. I think Chicago gets right. Baker Mayfield comes back down to earth. Baker Mayfield and them, are they better than Green Bay? I don't think so. I don't think they will be better than Green Bay this season. I know he won the first game. I know they still got the wide receivers, etc. But Todd Bowles, I don't know. I like the Bears. I like Justin Fields over Baker Mayfield. I'm taking Justin Fields, the Bears, with the 2.5. Next game, Chargers. You know what I mean? They had a shootout against Miami. And they're going against the Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry and them boys, Mike Vrabel. And they played the Saints last week. We had Tennessee with the 3. They did lose the game, but they covered with the spread. They lost by 1. Yes. This week they at home. I think this is a get-right game for them at first, for full transparency. I was leaning towards the Chargers heavy. Then I'm like, you know what? Who coaching staff do I trust more? Obviously, I rock with Herbert over Tannehill. Tannehill hasn't been looking good at all. But I'm going to go with Derrick Henry. I'm going to go with Hopkins. And I'm going to go with Vrabel to put it together. I think Chargers, they can't really stop the run. Really, they couldn't stop nobody last week. They couldn't stop a nosebleed. Tua Tagovailoa, he put up fucking astronomical, passing yards, etc. But in this game here, Tennessee at home, give me the 2.5. I like Tennessee. Next game is New York in the house. It's Brooklyn in the house. Uptown in the house. Shallon, I am like the New York football Giants. Oh my God. Like when the East is in the house, oh my God. After the first drive, you was looking magnificent. Like what the collector said, on the fucking Infinity, magnificent, magnificent. Bravo. And then after the first drive, you didn't get no points, a punk block. All of a sudden, you look up, it's 20-0. Oh, my God. You close your eyes. You come back after getting some quick popcorn, and it was over. Dallas, 40-0. The rain was pouring. You know what I mean? Like, when it rains, it pours. And they got their ass tore out the fucking frame. Let's be clear. They're not that bad. Dallas is one of the best teams. If you look at my previews for the Super Bowl, I got Dallas sneaky up in there, a couple other teams, but they was one of the teams that could possibly go to the Super Bowl. Arizona is not that team. Giants -4. It was, 5.5. Then it dropped to 4.5. Right now, as I'm looking at the spreads on CBS Sports app, you know what I mean? Not CBS Sports app, my Caesars Sports app is 4 right now. I got the Giants to win in the cover. I like the Giants. Arizona, you hung in there with Washington. Washington not that good. You shouldn't have been in the game. But who was it? Sam Howell. He ain't play no games in the NFL. He ain't about that life yet. He might be good right now. I don't think he's that good. I like the Giants to win in the cover. Yeah, kid. Next game. San Francisco at the Los Angeles Rams. Sean McVay, the Wonder Kid, going against Shanahan, who owns you. Discount double check. Yeah, like Aaron Rodgers owned the Bears. He owns them. The last 5 seasons, swept across the board. Only time the Rams won is when they did go to the Super Bowl and ultimately win over the Bengals. The spread is 7. It's a little high. People might be a little up on the Rams, because they whipped on the Seahawks last week. Seahawks didn't really put up much of a fight. Who was it? Pete Carroll got caught with his pants down, and Sean McVay, did what he did. This week here, I think it goes back to live action. I think it goes back to the regularly scheduled program, and I like San Fran. We had Pittsburgh last week over the Rams. That was one of our losses. That was an ugly win. Looked like San Fran, like I said, also in the previews for the Super Bowl, looked like they could definitely go to the Super Bowl, barring everybody stay healthy. I like 49ers. Next game, New York Jets, Dallas Cowboys, the boys. Like I said, just beat on my Giants 40-0. No Aaron Rodgers, unfortunately. We looking with the side eye, 4 plays in, 9-11, the Jets go. There's a lot of stuff on the internet, if you will, that we've been paying attention to. We don't know, you know what I mean? But the spread is 9.5. Now it's 8.5. I like Dallas to win. I like Jets to cover. I think Zach Wilson, he is bad. Maybe some of the Aaron Rodgers dark room mystique rubbed off on him. And also, there's no expectations, really, because you were supposed to be riding the bench this year and just, peeping game from afar. Like, get your own shit. Why you riding mine? You on the sideline just watching how a vet and a real MVP and a real Hall of Famer does it. Now you throwing in the fire, like jumped out the frying pan and in the fire. You're going to be the New York Jets #1 supplier. Brees Holmes, they picked up Dalvin Cook. They got the flavor of the month. They got a good defense, offensive line. Ain't all that. Maybe he could scramble a little bit, but I think they get at Dak as well. I think this game is something like 24-17, 16, something like that, 23-15, some stinky shit, and I think the Jets cover. Next game, Washington Commanders, you know what I mean? Denver, the Mile High Stadium, Russ Cook. Russ looked better than last year. That's what everybody keeps saying. First game, Sean Payton, he's back now. He's the fucking guy. They still lost to the Raiders, but the caveat is the Raiders been owning you. So that's why we had the Raiders last week. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure. Let me not lie to y'all. Who pick was that? Let me not lie to y'all. Last week, yeah, we did have the Raiders. Last week we had the Raiders. The Raiders been owning them, so it ain't no real big thing that they own them now. You know what I mean? We been owned you, so now we own you still. So that's why I ain't really take it too much. Like, oh, they lost to the Raiders. Raiders been beating them for the last couple of games that they matched up. This time Washington, Sam Howell, you on the road now, plays your first game against Arizona. Make no mistake about it, I think Denver is way better than Arizona. And I think Russ and them get right. The spread is 3.5, or you could get it at 3. Definitely jump on it if you like Denver. I think Denver covered the 3.5. I think they beat Washington. I think they beat Washington by at least like 7. I got Denver to win. Sunday Night Football, New England, the hoodie, Miami, Tua Tagovailoa, like I said, looking like the Bionic Man, $600 million arm. Threw for, all those yards. Are y'all still questioning, can he throw the deep ball? And that's you. You know what I mean? We had Miami last week. But anyway, this week here, he's 4-0 against Belichick. I think if he win, he'll be 5. Obviously, he'll be 5-0. But I want to say that's another record that somebody that's 0-5, 5-0 against Belichick. Mac Jones. He looked pretty damn decent last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Eagles got a better D. I think they kind of maybe took their foot off the gas a little bit. We had the Eagles. That was one of the locks. Cover the 4.5. Yeah, kid, that feeling. And this week here, I like Belichick. I know it's not going to be a popular pick. Right now, let's take a quick look at the money. The money is on Miami, 56%, minus a 2.5, 63% money line. I like New England. I think New England can win this outright. Take the 2.5. If you could wait till game day and get them with 3. And the only really reason why I like New England over Miami, I think Miami obviously on offense obviously got the better talent. They got weapons everywhere. You know what I mean? Then it's they getting their running back this week. But I think the defense of Belichick and of the Patriots, I should say, will be able to do some things to Tua, maybe even fuck around and knock him out the game. Then you're done. Then you did it and done. And do you ever think about when you out of here, your record deal, NFL career, all that shit out of here. One hit and he's done. I know he put on a little weight. He got the tribal, tattoo, fake looking like The Rock and all that. But that's a joke. I'm just playing. But I like New England. I think Matt Jones and them, obviously they ain't beat him yet. Belichick ain't beat him yet. And I know he want to win bad as a motherfucker. So that's why I'm going with Belichick. Football is scripted and rigged anyway. Y'all already know what it is. Monday Night Football, doubleheader, New Orleans. Who that? Who said they going to beat them Saints? Who that? Saints giving 3. Bryce Young, second game of the season. Didn't look that bad. I was leaning towards New Orleans. Obviously, Derek Carr, he's a vet. He off the Raiders. He didn't really look that bad last week, and they got the win. You know what I mean? And Carolina, they played. Who Carolina played against last week? Damn, I forgot that fast. And it's not even going to show me now. Hold on 1 second. Just so we can be clear. Oh, they played Atlanta. All right, they played Atlanta. They played Atlanta. Hold on 1 second. All right, back to the game. They New Orleans. They playing New Orleans this week. They getting 3. I was leaning towards the Saints, and right now on the fly, I'm gonna take Carolina. Now I think Bryce Young might get his first win at home, but even if he don't, I like the 3 points. So the Saints fuck around and win again, a tight, close one like they did over Tennessee. Carolina defense is definitely better than what they showing, even though they lost to Atlanta last week, and they probably gonna have one of the best defenses in the NFL. They always had the good corners. I think they keep it close. I like Carolina with the 3. Monday Night Football, the last game of the week. Cleveland rocks. Deshaun Watson Watson, they look pretty good. The defense looked pretty good. You know, Nick Chubb's obviously one of the best in the business. Top 5 dead or alive NFL running backs going against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what I mean? Mike Coughlin in them, and Mike Tomlin, not Coughlin. That was for the Giants. They lost last week. They lost bad. I mean, it wasn't even really, it really looked better than really what it was. Played the 49ers. Obviously, the Cleveland Browns are not the 49ers. Second game at home Monday night. Can both send them boys, could pick it up and get the victory, and then everybody in the division will be 1-1. Yeah, I think so. I think Pittsburgh win. I think Pittsburgh win the game outright, but I'm taking them with the 2.5. Hopefully you could get 3, and then that whole division will be 1-1. The Baltimore division will be 1-1, and if Belichick beat Miami this week, that division everybody will be 1-1, especially the Chicago Bears, Tampa Bay, and Green Bay. They'll be 1-1 too. Now let's get to the locks. Not the locks from Yonkers, but the locks that get us the winner chicken dinners, because that's your money, son. Like I said, last week we went 5-0. We're not going to get gas. Football is a long season. Stay humble. Go through the righteous steps. And don't bet above your means, because you will lose your money. You'll lose your house. You'll lose your car. You'll lose your wife. Like, you know what I mean? The mob will be looking for you to put you in a hole somewhere, tell you to breathe, like take light totes. Breathe like this. You know what I mean? How you locked in the cage somewhere begging for your life. And I'm being funny, but I'm not. All right, let's get to the locks. My last week I gave out 5. We're going to give out 6 this week. Yeah, we're going to be a little greedy. I think we did our homework. I like the Seahawks. To get right at Detroit. I like them with the 4.5. I like the Cincinnati Bengals to get right at home minus the 3 over Lamar Jackson. I like Denver at Mile High minus the 3.5 over the Washington Commanders. I like the New York Football Giants minus 4 at Arizona. I think the Giants kill zone. I like San Fran to bring the Rams back to reality, like snap back to reality. Up. It's minus the 7. I like the 4. I like the 49ers. And my 6th pick, just because we being a little greedy, I like Patrick Mahomes, a.k.a. PM, a.k.a. Night. I like, you know what I mean, Andy Reid and them boys to go up to Jacksonville and put a spanking on them. Kansas City, minus 3. There go the locks. Seahawks, Cincinnati, Denver, Giants, San Fran, Kansas City. But you know what it is. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic. That feeling back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.